Welcome to another Business Spotlight Live. I'm your host, Jen S., founder of Black on the Platform, your go to directory and community for Black owned businesses. All right. Today we have with us Errol Seemangal, a business executive turned full time entrepreneur. From corporate finance to coaching with the Black Business School, Errol is a staple in the B1 community. His journey is one of purpose, precision, and power. And before we begin hearing about your journey, Errol, would you like to greet our audience and share a few words to get us started?
Yes. First, thank you, Jen. Thanks for having me. Thanks for considering me. Peace to everyone on YouTube. I'm so thankful to be here tonight. I've watched of your two first episodes, so I congratulate you on your new business venture, and I hope to add some value to your live tonight.
Thank you. And it is wonderful to have you here with us today. So, if
Thanks.
you are, and I see in the chat, hey, Natasha, hey, Doug, if you are ready, put wealth mindset in the chat if you're ready to go. And I'm looking to see if I can see the live. I've been trying to figure out things that I can do easier as I grow my knowledge of how to use this. All right. All right, Errol. So let's go ahead and dive in. My first question for you is, what was the pivotal moment that made you shift from corporate finance to launching your own business, 416 Solutions LLC?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I think about that answer every day. That day occurred in 2021. Actually, that it occurred twice in my life, but most recently in 2021. I had applied for a promotion on the day job, and I looked at the job requirements, and I said, "Oh, I'm a perfect fit for this." I looked at my resume. I shined up my resume, real shiny, and I compared my resume against the job description. And I said, "Look, I have to be the top candidate, right?" And this was after the company said, we're going to hire from within. We're not going to look out. We're not going to look exterior. We're going to look internally. So I think this was a Thursday that I applied for the position, and by that following Monday, the CFO had asked me to set. He asked to set up a meeting with me on that following Monday. So of course, I'm feeling myself this whole time. I'm like, yo, I got to be a shoe in for this promotion. And I met with the CFO, and he told me I was unqualified. So I look back on that day, and I realized that was a great day in my life. I was mad as shit at the time, but in retrospect, that was a great day in my life. So that was the pivotal day. From that day forward, I promised myself never to let another grown man control my outcomes. So that day occurred in 2021.
And it was a great day because it was a wake up call.
It was definitely a wake up call. That day lit a fire under my ass that will never be extinguished. So I thank HR, I thank that company, and I thank that CFO because without them, I would have got too comfortable. I would have got too comfortable. I would have got too soft, and I would have woken up one day in my 60s and realized that my whole life had passed, and I had done nothing with my life. So I truly thank them. I truly thank them.
That's a great story. I think a lot of us can be inspired by that. So thank you for sharing that. So now, fast forward, you're leading consultations, you're teaching courses with the Black Business School. And we have a number of people who are in the chat who have heard you speak, have been to either part of the WIN program where you do your study sessions, or heard you at A, B, and C. So can you share what those offerings look like and how people can work with you?
Yeah, I have several offerings through the Black Business School. Every Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern, we have a class called Winning Wednesdays. It's free. Free fits in everyone's budget. I have a biweekly study hall with the Win Mastermind group every second Sunday night. Anyone in the win group meets with me. We discuss option plays. We discuss strategy, theory, some of the math related in options, some of the psychology related in options. That's every 2 weeks. Every first Sunday of the month, I host my options meeting, and then lastly, I have consultations, either one-offs or bulk consultations through the Black Business School. Most people meet with me to discuss options, but other people meet with me to discuss their business venture.
Awesome. And I heard you mention the word math. So, how did your academic background in math and business shape your approach to your entrepreneurship?
Um, from childhood, I remember sitting in the back of my car. My parents would be driving around, and I'd be sitting in the back of the car, and I would look out. I would see license plates. I'd see the numbers on license plates, and my brain would just naturally multiply these numbers, add these numbers, subtract these numbers, and divide these numbers. So as I got older, I realized I had a knack for mathematics. So I studied mathematics at the University of Toronto. But I realized that high level mathematics is not even mathematics, it's more borderline physics and things like this. So the mathematics really helps me with the options. I can calculate quickly and accurately. So that's one way. And then I also have a business degree. So I was exposed to a lot of entrepreneurs throughout the years, people that do very big business in the private sector as well as the public sector. So these people kind of rubbed off on me over the years. So those two things, plus my own experience, plus my own,
Skill
my own
set.
skill, my own skill set, really propelled me forward over the years.
I love it. So, I see some comments in the chat, and this I'm going to try and see if I can let's see if I can click on it, if it will. Okay, I'm still working on that. But Natasha says she loves winning Wednesdays. Our B1 community just keeps growing. I'd love to hear from our viewers who and where you've seen Errol. If it's been at Winning Wednesdays, A, B, and C, Win program, go ahead and drop it in the chat as I try to see if I can add it on the screen. I did it. I'm so proud of myself, Errol. You can't see, but they can see that Natasha said love winning Wednesdays. Yes, I'm so proud of myself. All right. I'm still learning myself.
Me too. Me too.
Yeah, yeah. But you make it look seamless and you're on for a whole hour. Ours is just 30 minutes. But so well, let's keep going as I look for those responses in the chat to see where people have tapped in with you previously. um so as one of your students, I can testify to this. Your students often say your teachings are so empowering, the statements should be printed on t-shirts. What's one of those signature mindset shifts you help people make, especially when it comes to financial literacy?
One thing is nobody's coming to save us, right? In America, nobody's coming to save us, right? We can't depend on somebody else to come save us. We have to put in the work ourselves. We have to put in the sacrifice ourselves. We have to put in the hours ourselves. We have to put in the repetitions ourselves. And just because you have a degree, that doesn't mean anything, okay? Especially in the new economy, right? Just because you have such and such a degree or don't have such and such a degree, that doesn't mean anything, right? Your financial freedom's up to you. Your financial literacy is up to you. Your outcomes in life are up to you. So you're the ultimate chief executive officer of your life. Nobody's going to care about your life and outcomes like you. Everything's on you. Everything's on you. As a real chief executive officer, everything is on you. Everything. So you have to take full responsibility.
I'm going off script a little bit here because what you said really makes me think about how important it has been for me to come every Wednesday, listen in and come on to your the wins on Sunday. And like it's literally been over a year of a little bit of your teachings every couple days, either catching replays or live with you on Sunday. Um, A, B, and C, all of these things have really helped me reprogram my mindset so that I can emulate what you're teaching. Was there anyone who provided you with that kind of inspiration or taught you how to be focused in this way?
There wasn't one specific person. It was a collection of people over several years. Dr. Boyce Watkins, of course, was one of them. He served as one of my. He still serves as one of my mentors. Back in the day, I had a mentor, had a informal real estate mentor, so I have to credit her. She was one. My dad was one, and then while I was in business school back in the day, the director of the program at the time, I would consider her one of my mentors. She's a very smart lady, and I picked up a lot of game from her over the years. So several people over the course of time have contributed to me either formally or informally.
I love it. There is a book called No One is Self-Made by Dr. Hallman. And I really believe that. I feel like none of us do it alone. And we always have somebody who believes in us. Like, I'm fortunate to have so many of my sisters from FFS here and Win family. I see Faith saying hi, Errol, in the chat. And
Hello, Faith.
my family. I see my my cousin who also we didn't really touch upon it, but Errol is from Toronto, Canada, and so my cousin Lawanda is also in Canada. And fun fact, my mother was born in Winnipeg, so we have
Okay.
family in all parts: Toronto, Calgary, Edmonton, Montreal, Ontario, everywhere. So we have that connection as well. So thank you for being here. Um, Sheila,
Thank you for
I gotta
having me
put.
again.
Oh, of course. Sheila, I have to put yours on the screen. And she says, I love when Errol reminds me to take the emotions out of it when trading. And we didn't really speak about that, but can you talk about your non emotional approach?
Yeah, my mindset when it comes to the options is to remove all emotion, right? The determining factor are the numbers. Okay, so same idea in real estate. The determining factor is the numbers, not the feelings, not the emotions, not the opinions, not what my neighbor said, not what my cousin said. The determining factor are the numbers. Okay, so save your emotions for your loved ones, for your kids, for your family. Save the emotions for that stuff. When it comes to high level investing, there are no emotions. There are no emotions.
Excellent. And it's easier said than done for my viewers who are new to trading. There were times when we first started, Leilani and I and Terry, and we would look at the numbers like, oh, wait, it's going down. Oh, wait, it's going up. Okay, wait, we want to get in right then, to the point where we just had to say, it's just numbers. Let it
Yeah.
go, make the play. You often say, especially during Winning Wednesdays, it's you have to have the same routine regardless of whether the market's up, whether the market's down. Can you speak on that a little bit?
Yeah. Before we make, I mean, this goes for business just in general, not just options. Before we jump into a business venture, we have to know what we're getting into, right? We have to know as many potential outcomes as possible. Okay. So when it comes to options, there's only two or three potential outcomes. So we have to know beforehand, before we pull the trigger, we have to know these potential outcomes or try to know as many potential outcomes as possible and be cool with any one of those. Okay. So when I pull the trigger, could happen or that could happen or that could happen. I'm cool with any potential outcome. So when you know that, when you have the foresight to see ahead of time, you don't get caught up in the day-to-day volatility or the hour-by-hour volatility. You don't really care. Whatever happens by Friday close of business, that's what happens. I'm cool either way. Whatever outcomes happens by Friday close of business, I'm cool. I know that before I pull the trigger.
And I just need my audience to know, our audience today, that he's not talking the talk. He really means it. We just had a conversation last Sunday about Oklo, and Errol and I were both invested in Oklo. He got assigned before it shot up, and I'm like, "How do you feel about that?" I was like you, Lawanda. I was feeling like I was missing out, on the come up, and I want Errol to share. What was your response, Errol? How did you feel about Oklo?
Yeah, that's a good point. I keep the overall objective in mind. Okay, I don't get caught up in the emotions too much. I keep the overall objective in mind. My overall objective is for these premiums to cover my cost of living. As long as these premiums cover my cost of living, I'm cool. I don't care whatever else goes on. Once these premiums pay my housing, my mortgage, my mortgages, my HOA, my utilities, my car note, my insurance, that's the goal. The premiums for these, the objective is for these premiums to cover my cost of living. I don't care about anything else. Okay. When it comes to the options, I don't care about anything else. So I don't have fear of missing out. As long as my bills are paid, that's the objective. I'm cool. That's it.
I love it. I love it. I'm trying to be like that. I'm trying to not be fear of missing out, or looking for the the next big Oklo, right? So Natasha asks you, what inspired you to start option trading personally and to eventually teach it? And before you answer that, I think that we see you as a teacher, a facilitator, but a lot of times you're so nonchalant. You're like, I'm just living my life. I'm just, trying to do it. But you definitely are bringing financial empowerment to the B1 community, and in your smooth way, transforming our mindset. So, but yes, please tell us what had you start trading personally and then teaching.
It's ironic because I kind of failed my way into options, right? I kind of failed my way from other business ventures. So I failed. I was trying to close on some big real estate, and those deals fell through. So I kind of failed in real estate. I did well in real estate, but then I failed trying to scale up. So I kind of fell ass backwards into the options. So the whole time I was studying options, I was working my day job. I was trying to run real estate plays, but I was always studying options on the side. So by the time all these deals fell through and I went through what I went through on the day job, by the time all that happened, I had mastered the options. I took a large sum of cash and I started killing that market. So what inspired me to do well in the options is failure in other business ventures. So I failed my ways to success, you could say.
A lot of times Dr. Boyce will say that, we are stuck on the plantation and we need to get off. But sometimes I think that our day jobs give us a sense of security that allows us to invest the capital that if we were dependent on that, we wouldn't be as willing to spend the money there, because we'd be worrying about food, clothing, and shelter. So you were able to invest while you were still working, and learn the skill before you leaped off. Is that right?
Definitely, definitely. I worked a day job 20 years straight, side hustled every day, studied every day, sacrificed every day, went to the gym every day, came straight from the gym, studied, and this was years after I was technically educated. This was years after those degrees. So I had the same work ethic 20 years straight. I worked 30 hours a day, 20 years straight. My desire to be my desire to be exceptional far exceeded any fear I had. So I wanted to be great in my field. So I really worked on my craft every day. No exaggeration.
I love it. I'm going to drop a question for our viewers. What financial lesson hit hardest for you? Let us know in the comments. What notes are you keeping on Errol's share today? And while they're dropping those responses, I'd like to know I mean, you're here today, not only because you're one of my mentors and a true inspiration to the B1 community, but because you're on Black on the Platform. You are one of our featured businesses. And so, can you tell us about the services that 416 Solutions provide?
Yep. Well, you may know I do consults
I do.
through the
I've
Black
had
Business
one.
School and on my own. Yep, and on my own clients. And then I also do revenue share with the Black Business School. So those are two revenue streams. And then another revenue stream is to kill that market every period the rest of my life. So those are my three revenue streams for my business.
Awesome. And some of our viewers are not yet entrepreneurs. They're looking to get into, starting their own business, launching. What support systems did you lean into when you were starting your business?
Um, Mentorship, coaching. I would consult with experts. I would consult with people who are already doing what I wanted to do. I would pick their brain. I would take their class. I would fly across the country to go meet with them face to face. Things like that. I would learn from afar. So several things over the years. I would watch what worked for that person, what didn't work for that person. Um, and then I also failed, right? I failed all those things in combination with failing my way to success. You can succeed. Just keep failing. Fail forward. Fail
I
big.
love it. And for those of
Fail
you who
forward.
don't attend Winning Wednesdays, Errol will always ask, what business lesson is there in this? And so I appreciate your transparency and letting viewers know that, you were afraid, you made mistakes, but you kept going. What
Yeah.
advice would you give someone standing on the edge of entrepreneurship but afraid to leap?
That's a great question. I would say think about the alternative. Okay, think about the alternative. If you don't take this leap of faith, someone will control your outcomes the next 20 years, the next 30 years, the next 40 years. What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of failing on your own? Are you afraid of betting on yourself and failing? Or are you afraid of 40 years on the corporate plantation? What are you more afraid of? So the advice I have is to think about the alternative if you don't bet on yourself, okay? If you don't bet on yourself, you're betting on Mr. Charlie betting on you, okay? So if you don't bet on yourself, you're betting on Mr. Charlie betting on you. What are you more afraid of? What's more fearful? What's more fearful? Failing on your own and failing your way to success, or betting on Mr. Charlie, waiting for Santa Claus to come save you, waiting for politicians to come save us, waiting for another grown man to say, "Come save." What's more fearful? What's more fearful? Think about the alternative.
I always find these conversations with you really empowering, and motivates me to want to keep going, know that I'll fail, and still persevere. I'm curious to know what Black economic empowerment means to you personally.
One thing it means to me is ownership. We need to own. We need to own assets. Okay. Uh, that's one thing. The second thing is to understand business. Okay. If you're melanated in America, you need to understand business. Okay. If you don't understand business, you will work for someone that understands business. That's the second thing. Third thing, invest in yourself. Invest in yourself. Okay. Invest in your freedom education. Okay. Traditional education may get you a job. Freedom education may get you free. So those are three tips right there.
I love it. And for those of you who are new to Errol's teachings and you want to know more, he does do Winning Wednesdays every week. Can you tell them, because I know it alternates, where they can find you? And I will drop those links in the comment section at the end of our session today. But can you tell them where to find you if they want to tap in?
Yep. Every Wednesday, I go live on YouTube on two YouTube channels. The first is the Black Boss YouTube channel, the Black Boss YouTube channel, and the second is the Financial Juneteenth YouTube channel. So there is no link, there is no YouTube link. Sorry, there's no Zoom link. I go live on two channels every Wednesday at noon Eastern. I alternate going live on the Black Boss channel and the Financial Juneteenth YouTube channel. So if you're interested in checking me out every Wednesday, you can subscribe to those two channels and click under the live section. You can find me there.
Awesome. And I'm going off script again. Tashi said in the chat, not Mr. Charlie, LOL. And every time you say Mr. Charlie, I think so my dad's, we, they were in the military. And so Mr. Charlie was a real term that was used during Vietnam. And I was like, I don't think Earl even knows that. Where'd you get Mr. Charlie from? Like,
I got, I got to be honest. I got Mr. Charlie from Dr. Voice.
okay.
For those of you that don't know, if you hear me say Mr. Charlie and you don't know who I mean, Mr. Charlie is our favorite plantation owner. Okay, Mr. Charlie is the one who we sacrifice our health for. Mr. Charlie is the one who we sacrifice our mental health for. Mr. Charlie is our favorite business owner. Mr. Charlie is the person we build his wealth instead of our own wealth. Mr. Charlie is our economic god. God is not our god, right? Mr. Charlie is our economic god. So that's who Mr. Charlie is, our favorite plantation owner.
I love it. I love it. Doug called
Fortunately.
you Doug's, let's see, Errol's AKA HR equalizer.
Yeah,
I love that.
I really I thank four people when I wake up every day. I thank God first. I thank my ancestors. I thank Dr. Boyce from the Black Business School, and fourth, I thank HR for not promoting me. I really thank them. No lie, no cap, as the kids say, no cap. I
No
really thank
cap.
HR every day of my life. No
I
cap.
love it. I love it. For those people who haven't had the honor and privilege of being part of your sessions, whether it's on StreamYard, you do some of those pop-ups. Natasha has a question. What does a day in the life of Errol look like? I think
Oh,
that's
that's a great question. Great question.
nice. Yeah.
I purposely don't do too much these days. Okay, I purposely don't work. I send the assets to work. So typical day for me work thing looks like first thing I'm doing is sleeping in until whatever time my body feels refreshed, whatever time my mind feels refreshed. That's the first thing I'm doing. Sleeping in until about 8:30. First thing. Second thing I do is do some meditation. I literally go on the floor in my bedroom I do some light meditation. I do some deep breathing. I do some visualization. That's the first. That's the second thing I do. Third thing I do is I go on my balcony. I literally lay in the sun and I get some sun on my skin. Okay, that's the third thing I do. I get some sun because that sun keeps my testosterone high, keeps my skin nice and tan, and keeps my immune system nice and strong. That's the third
Yes.
thing I do. After that, I maybe check the market for a few minutes. I might work on some content in one of these classes. I might eat breakfast. I might go lift some weights, come back, eat lunch, do a little more work on some of the class content. In the afternoon, I may take a nap. I may go take a walk outside to get some fresh air, get some steps in. In the evening, I'm a student like you. I'm a student, like a lot of the students. I may join one of the classes in the evening. At night, I might do a little stretching, a little yoga, and then I wind down and go to sleep. That's a typical day in my life.
I want that life. I'm gonna get there. That's the dream.
Two
So
hours a week, 2 hours a week, 2 or 3 hours a week, literally.
so in between there, you spend time with some of your clients who are wanting to live the life you're living. I was lucky enough to join you for a consultation. Can you, because we want to bring you some more business with our spotlight. So tell us
Thank you.
what working with you looks like for a client.
One thing we do is, let's just talk options. A lot of people consult with me for options. So one thing we'll do is I'll ask you what are you trying to do? What's your objective? That's one thing. I will probably review your portfolio. I'll calculate what's a reasonable return for you, what's a sustainable return for you. That's another thing. I'll ask you your cost of living. I'll ask you your cost of living. A lot of people say they want to retire, but they don't know their cost of living. They don't know what their housing expense is. They don't know how much their insurance is. They don't know how much they sell. They don't know the numbers. They don't know the numbers. So one thing I'll stress during those consults is to know your numbers. So we'll review your numbers, review your objectives, review your portfolio, and we'll get you moving towards your financial goals.
I love it. And when I met with you, not only did we talk about options, we talked about Black on the platform and developing my business and you having the business background. You really honed in on the term value add. Can you talk to the viewers a little bit about that?
Value add is a term I heard way back in the day. I think I first was exposed to that term in business school
I love it. I use
15,
it all the
15 years
time
ago
now.
or whatever. I think it might even be, they might even have new terms nowadays, but for my day, it was value add. In other words, why would I join a meeting? Why would I do something? I'm not going to do something just to do something. I'm going to do something because it propels me towards my objectives. So a value add is just like another term for something that's beneficial, something that's worthwhile, something that's valuable to you instead of just taking a nap. I could have just taken a nap, but I decided to do this because it was a value add, because it was beneficial.
I love it. I love it. And Errol can't see the comments that pop up on the screen because he's in the backside with me. But Sharon says, "Love, love, love Errol. He keeps it real." And so I love that aspect of your blend of business. You know, you're not afraid to use a little profanity. You're not like claymation boys, but you do keep it real. You also are very professional. You know, we were just at A, B, and C, and you and Lawrence holding the room and keeping everyone engaged. How do you balance your professional self with your authentic self so that you do keep it real the way you do?
I just be myself. I'm not an actor. I'm not Denzel Washington. For many years I had to put on my Denzel Washington act on the plantation, right? I couldn't be who I was. I couldn't speak the way I wanted to speak. I had to sit up straight. I had to behave a certain way. So I'm done with the acting. I'm done with the acting. I just try to be myself, right? I'm sure people can they can appreciate they can identify someone that's authentic and just being themselves instead of trying to be something that they're not. I'm not an actor. I'm not trying to be in Hollywood. I'm just myself. I'm too comfortable in my own skin to try to be somebody else.
And that's what I was getting on. Like, you definitely carry yourself with confidence, and that rubs off on others and inspires others. And we are at the end of our time together. I want to thank the viewers and the audience for tapping in. Thank you, Errol, for your brilliance and the blueprint on how to make, as you call it, sizable figures. You've shown us it's not just about numbers, it's about narratives and net worth. and we're grateful to have you in our community. Any closing remarks for our viewers?
For you first, thank you for having me. Thank you for considering me. Everyone in the chat, stay disciplined, stay consistent, right? If you want to be a subject matter expert, you can't work on your craft one time and expect to be an expert. You got to put the work in every day if you're really about that life. Okay, so stay disciplined, stay consistent, and you will eventually get what you deserve.
Awesome. Thank you, Errol. And last time I was, okay, here we go. So if you found value in today's spotlight, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and tell a friend. Let's keep growing this community together. I am Jen S., your networking concierge. And until next time, stay bold, stay Black, and stay building.
Peace, everyone.
Thank you.